down. But if you are once again to the east of I-75, you got to be watchful both in terms of looking for snow, but very cautious as you get out on the roads.
Yeah. Has this been exactly what you've been expecting and forecasting over the last few days, where it's kind of staying that line east, where we're seeing a lot more of that the heavier impacts?
There was a couple communities in South Fulton and Douglas County, going even down to Coweta and Paulding, that they got some surprise snow this morning. But the forecast is lining up that we thought I-75 would be the proverbial dividing line for the have and the have-nots. And we can definitely tell that I-75 was that demarcation, and it will continue to be so throughout the afternoon. I can't say, slightly to the west of I-75 that you're not going to get something. But once again, the focus will continue to be to the east of the interstate, with not really even DeKalb County taking the hit. It was Gwinnett County, the Metro County, and maybe even some parts of Forsyth. But Gwinnett County ended up being the area. Of course, we thought Hall and Clark counties would be part of this, and certainly all of those counties up to the north and to the east of those locations. But it ended up being, at the end of the day, it was Gwinnett County, especially to the north of Lawrenceville. They got hit hard with this storm, and we're seeing some really impressive amounts. And so, yes, the forecast is indeed lining up.
And this is the second weekend in a row for Gwinnett, Jonathan, getting kind of the brunt of the storm. Did they really fully recover from last weekend as far as melting and getting some of the ice?
And the atmospheric opportunities were definitely there. We've warmed up enough, although I don't think anybody has felt warmth to any degree across the area, but they were able to get rid of those conditions. Hard-hit White, Habersham counties, they still had impacts as late as Friday, but they were likely antecedent impacts, meaning power outages and things like that. There weren't actually icy spots on the road before this next system moved in. However, people can't seem to catch their breath, especially if you're to the north and to the east of the Atlanta metro area. It's kind of one system after another one. And if you get the right meteorologist to talk to you, they'll say that we're not done yet.
Oh. Is that hint? Mother Nature might have another...
There's an old song that used to be sang in the church, and it's a Lord, teach me to take it one day at a time. I do a 7-day forecast, and I stop it right there. Meteorologist Alex Forbes, he's a big long-term guy, and he'll show you things that will freak you out for the month of February. I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, boy. One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
That's all I'm asking of you. Yes.
And this is why we have the best Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologists in the business working here. Jonathan, Alex, David Chanley. But you guys are going to stay on top of it and keep everyone updated throughout the storm and through the next one, possibly.
Thanks, Jonathan. Wink, wink.
And we have been receiving a lot of new video and pictures coming into the Fox 5 newsroom from viewers like you.
Yeah, this is fun. Good Day's Paul Milliken has been combing through all those images.
I can't keep up.
Yeah, and it's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
How many are we up to?
Oh, I think...
To the east, we got some good snow going on out I-20 way, and then down towards Jackson Lake and Jackson and Monticello, over towards Putnam County, trying to knock on the door of the Lake Country, in and around Athens and Watkinsville. This is the last of it, though, kind of crossing the I-85 corridor. You might have a flurry or two, but I'm talking about substantial snowfall would accumulate. The heaviest now kind of exiting our area and really plaguing the Carolinas right now up here across parts of South and North Carolina into the evening hours. So, it's a storm that's still getting wound up and will impact a large area up and down the East Coast. We're going to talk about temperature trends on into the new week. All that's coming your way in a few minutes.
David, thank you so much. Let's check in the conditions up in far North Georgia, up in Blairsville.
Yeah, let's go to Fox 5's Denise Dillon, who has been there for us all afternoon. What's the latest there, Denise? What are you seeing on the ground?
A lot of snow. To give you an idea how much snow, I want to take you over to this van. Look at the top of that. That's the accumulation of the snow that we have had since it started falling early this morning. Honestly, we have not seen it stop since we got here. This is the light.
The back edge here over the next couple of hours should be over with and out of our region. Still plaguing the Carolinas, though, and that's going to continue into the evening. Boy, you talk about some snowfall totals. Check out Greensboro and then parts of eastern North Carolina just getting hammered right now. This is what it looks like on our 101 Marietta camera. We're finding even a few breaks in the clouds at times, but don't get used to that because We're going to see the kind of the clouds come back, and then we'll get a clearing trend overnight, but that sun's not going to help matters. 24 is our current temperature after hitting 23 this afternoon as the snow was falling. And this is downtown Helen up in White County. Boy, that just looks brutal. That looks wintry up there for sure. They're headed down into the deep freeze by the time we get into early tomorrow morning. In fact, let's take you through what's going to happen now with that snow ending up there. And it's still a few flakes. Look what the road temperatures are doing. As we found earlier today, we got a lot of spots in the metro area were up above freezing, and then we had that lighter snow, and that didn't amount to a whole lot, thank goodness. But now we're starting to see road temperatures down around freezing and below, especially when we have the snowfall. So what's ever out there, well, it's going to be with us, obviously, through the night and on into your Sunday morning. We'll take you through the timeline of when the snow continues to roll on out and how cold it's going to be in the morning. It's coming your way in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you soon, David. Thanks. In the meantime, it's never too late to download the Fox 5 Storm app, the Fox local app if you haven't already. You can get weather coverage along with closings and delays and catch up on David's weather report.
We have members of our Fox 5 team spread out around the area to give us a better look at how the conditions are. Let's get out to our Rob D'Arienzo.
He is on 316 in Gwinnett County, was trying to make it to Athens. Rob, earlier today I had to turn around on 400 trying to go northbound. It's better to be safe than sorry, right?
That's right, guys. Well, I since moved to downtown Lawrenceville, which is where we've been stationed for a little while now. But we did start our day along 316, and the conditions were really...
I do look more of a clearing trend, and we'll see sunshine to start the day on Sunday. In fact, Sunday is going to be sunny all day long, but look what happens with the temperatures. We barely get up into the upper 20s and low 30s by afternoon. Now, that sun's going to help where we have the snowfall on some area roads, but as soon as the sun goes down, what's going to happen? Well, everything is going to refreeze in here by your Monday morning. So tonight, here's what we anticipate is going to happen as the sun set 6:08 and 20s on into the teens. We'll talk snowfall totals as we get those into the Fox 5 Storm Center. That's coming your way with Jonathan Stacy in just
Central Georgia. During the 8 o'clock hour, we'll continue to see the downturn of the temperature along with the wind chill, feeling like 4 degrees here in the city. By the time we head to bed tonight, 10 o'clock, it's 20 degrees on the thermometer, but the winds are still hype, and it will feel like it's -1 here in Atlanta. First thing tomorrow morning, that's 6 o'clock, down to a 0 wind chill. I hope you're going to be inside the house tomorrow. It's going to be a great day to just kind of shelter in place. No action in terms of precip. We're not looking at any of that, but it's going to be a windy and a blustery type day in terms of how the winds really insert that chill in the air. With the hope of getting to 35 degrees, there could be some melting out there, but overall it's a frigid day with the hope of hitting the 40s by Groundhog Day. Hopefully that groundhog doesn't see a shadow. I don't got time for that.
I think we've been through enough, like 3 weekends in a row with these storm alert days, Jonathan. I mean, I don't know. I think that groundhog needs to, he needs to understand the assignment.
And he needs to understand the assignment or stay where he's at, stay in the ground.
Yeah.
Schedule the next one for a Wednesday so the kids can have a school.
Yeah. At least get out of school.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, thanks.
coming out of that is snow. It's down below freezing. But then a few thousand feet up, temperatures are well above freezing. That's warm. It kind of noses on in between us and the surface. And if it stays warm, then you get all rain. But if we get freezing temperatures down near the ground, falls as liquid and then freezes on contact. If the raindrop has an opportunity, the shallower layer, the warmer air, well, it may refreeze, and that turns into the sleet pellets. And if the column of air stays below freezing the whole way down, presto, there is snow. That's not in the forecast. Freezing rain is. And so then you start looking at ice accumulation. Check this out. As we roll forward through your Saturday and on into Sunday, certainly higher amounts up here in the bullseye area of north and northeast Georgia, but anything over a quarter to a half inch is significant. Did a little research here, talked about the impact of ice on trees. You know, a half inch of ice on a 30-foot tree, well, it adds up to about 2,500 pounds in extra weight. And if you have a pine tree, it's even greater than that because it latches onto all of the needles. Now, that is a big deal, a very heavy tree, and the wind starts blowing, and that's where things getting kind of the power outages, right? The trees start falling on the power lines, and the power lines themselves holding that much weight. And you get wet and wind gusts up out of the east there at 20, 25 miles an hour. That's setting the stage. That's showing you the wedge and its effect. And look how strong that the signature is right on into Saturday night when we start picking up the freezing rain and the ice accumulations. We'll go through that timeline for you coming up tonight.
All right, David, thanks. Not only will people be affected by the winter storm, pets are also at risk.
Yeah, pet owners are encouraged to keep animals indoors as much as possible. If your pet has to go outside, provide warm bedding and make sure that they have access to shelter and unfrozen water. Vets say stocking up on food and water can make the difference between a healthy pet and a trip to the vet.
If you think there's frostbite, a risk of frostbite, don't want to rub that. You just want to get it to a nice warm temperature. You don't want to throw hot water on it. You want lukewarm or room temperature water to kind of bring that temperature back up.
If the problem is still there after you've tried to help, experts say take your animal to the vet immediately. Losing power is one issue people may face with the incoming ice storm, but many residents are also concerned about possible falling trees.
Ice can be one of the most destructive forces to a tree, and arborists say freezing rain can add hundreds of pounds worth of weight to trees in a way they're not usually accustomed to. It's too late to cut down trees you might be concerned about, but experts say there are still things you can do to look out and make sure you can get to safety in time.
Being aware of your surroundings. So when you start to see branches bowing over or trees bowing over, making sure that you stay clear of them, keep cars parked, away.
Certainly good news there. Rebecca Castor live for us this morning in Washington, D.C. Rebecca, thank you. We're going to dig a little bit more deeper into that. Domestic security concerns continue as new documents showed that the Iranians plan to attack on American soil or retaliate on American soil. The FBI issued that alert last month, warning local law enforcement of potential Iranian drone strikes in California. That's according to those reports that Rebecca just mentioned. The confidential alert said Iran planned to conduct a surprise attack on the West Coast, an event of U.S. military action. The FBI said in the report they received information on the potential attack in early February. Governor Newsom says his Office of Emergency Services is working with authorities to protect the state. He's not aware of any imminent threats, and a threat assessment.
Their Air Force is gone, totally gone. That took the better part of about 3 hours. So what the hell hit them, right? They don't know. They got hit by the American military. They don't know. They say, what the hell is happening? They didn't expect anything like this.
And this all comes after the Pentagon reported to Congress that the U.S. cost of the war was more than $11.3 billion in just the first 6 days. So let's talk a little bit about the global economic impact of this. Some of the wealthiest nations in the world, they're taking steps to offset growing concerns over the economic impact of the war in Iran.